Good morning, class. Nice to see you. I'm Mary Carroll, and this is How to Survive English 101. Make sure you subscribe below. I'm going to be posting every single Monday. I'll be here all semester long to help you pass that class. All right, today's topic is to get you ready for your very first paper. How to generate ideas for a paper. Now, sometimes the teacher will give you the professor will give you a list of topics to choose from, or might help you with some ideas, or might require you to choose a topic based on something or another. I don't know any of that because I don't know, what your professor is doing. So I'm going to just assume that you have free reign to make your own choice, okay? So let's talk about how to do that, all right? The very first thing that I would suggest is that you choose a topic that you already know a little bit of something about. There are a couple of reasons for this. One is when you go to do the research, you'll be able to judge a little bit better whether or not something fits in with what you already know. Some topics are so darn big that if you don't know anything about them, you're going to be like swimming in the deep, dark end of the pool. You can't see anything. You can't recognize something when you touch it, and you wouldn't know where to put it. So it's really best to start with a topic that you already have a little bit of knowledge about, okay? Now, and then ask yourself a question about this topic. Ask yourself, what else do I want to know about this? All right? It might be helpful at that time to just write some things down on a pad of paper. Well, I always kind of wondered about this, and I heard about that, but I wonder if it's true. Things like that. Just generate a few things that you think you want to know in addition to what you already know. Okay? That's just a way to start thinking about the topic, start thinking about what else you have some kind of interest in. Now, I would recommend you find something you have some interest in, because you're going to be researching, you're going to be writing 10 to 15 pages on this. You really don't want to be bored with the topic. It's got to be something that intrigues you, okay? And we can kind of assume that you must be intrigued because you already know a little something about it, right? Now, you want to ask yourself, what else do I want to know? Okay? All right. Next, you're going to test the waters. Now, what that means is you're going to actually start researching. Now, I have another lesson where I will talk about researching, talk about how to evaluate sources and so on, but that's not for now. Let's assume you already know all that. What I mean by test the waters is you're going to dive in and start researching. See what information you can find about this question that you've generated for yourself. What else do I want to know? Start to do some research and see, is there any information out there that could support an argument that you think you might like to make about this. For example, I'm going to give you an example of Henry Fielding, Tom Jones. A lot of critics had said they were surprised that he didn't do a little more public objecting to something that had happened to him, and that they were surprised he had seemed to go silent on this point. Well, I didn't think he went silent on it, but I really wondered, didn't anybody speculate about this any further than to just ask the question? So I started to do a little research to see, did anybody say any more about that? Well, they didn't, but the more I was reading, the more I thought, you know what? I decided what my opinion was. I had my thesis. I was pretty sure he had objected and that there was a way that he had done that. And I thought, oh, I can write about that. This is what I mean by ask yourself, what else do you want to know? Then start to do a little bit of research to see what information is out there. Is there anything that can support your opinion, or at least support the discussion that you want to have about it? One thing that I want to emphasize, when you do your research, you're not going to find the answer to your question. If you do, you need to change your question. The point is in college is that you didn't get there to just find out everything that you need to memorize it, regurgitate it on a paper, and voila, you're done. That is not what college is about. College is about learning to be a thinking, contributing member to society. Okay? That means you're going to always be asking yourself questions. You're going to always test the waters to see if there's information around the question you have, if there's already a discussion about that question that touches on it, but maybe nobody has come up with the idea that you have about it. Okay, that might be something you can pursue. So let's say you spend maybe a couple of days testing the waters, meaning doing initial research. That's what I mean. Initial research to test the waters. Okay? All right. Now, what's next? You're going to start taking notes. You're doing your research. You're going to start taking notes on what you've got. Like I said about my example about Henry Fielding, I thought, oh, so-and-so says this, so over there they said that. I'm surprised I'm not finding anybody say that he actually did object. And I think I can prove that he did object. So you're going to take notes and you're going to make a final decision about your question. What question are you going to answer? Let me clarify this. What else do you want to know is not exactly the same thing as your thesis. See the other lesson on the difference between a topic and a thesis. Okay, I don't want to get into that now. I want to keep these lessons short for you because I know you have a full class schedule. Okay. Take notes, make a final decision about your thesis, prepared to change your mind. Because if, as you tested the waters and did your initial research, you realize, oh shoot, there really isn't anything to support my idea about this, so I think let me go with my second idea, okay? Be prepared to have to do that if you need to. But you're going to take notes in order to make your final decision, okay? Always, always use your noodle. Like I said, the answer to your question is not going to be sitting in a book someplace. The answer to your question or the thesis, your idea that you are going to propose in the paper and that you will argue in support of is going to be your own idea. It's going to come out of your own thinking. You will always be required to use your noodle. You are not looking for the answer in some book. You're looking for the discussion around the topic that you have an opinion about. All right? So always do your own thinking. All right? And be flexible. Just like this, in your first, when you're testing the waters, you're going to start taking notes. You may have to decide, oh shoot, there's really nothing here. I'm going to have to change my mind. Now, understand that you have a deadline for your paper. So yes, when I say test the waters, when I say figure out your topic, test the waters, you're doing that quickly, within a few days. Generate some, what do you want to know? Generate some opinions about this. I think it might be this. I think it might be that. Then you're going to do your initial research. Then you're going to take notes, take a look at your notes, then make your final decision. Okay, darn it, I'm going to have to throw out my first idea. You might have to go back to this. Oh, shoot, let me check something else and see if I can go in this direction. This is why you got to keep your eye on that deadline. You might have to change your thesis. And so you want to keep yourself on your schedule, keep moving quickly, but keep thinking about things and change your mind if you have to. All right? Now that's how you generate ideas for your paper. Yes, when I say test the waters, start your research, I mean go into the library and start researching. I do have another lesson on how to research, how to evaluate your sources. Okay? All right. So there's the lesson on how to generate ideas for a paper. The next lesson is how to evaluate sources and how to begin your research. Okay, everybody? Thanks for joining me. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.